Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 92 and today we're back with another brand new video. That's right, just a couple days off the high of Thursday night versus one of the most informed teams in European football. We travel up to Perth and played like that. That we saying we like to say here on this channel, it's never easy being a Rangers fan. Well, that is solidified with that 2-2 draw versus St Johnstone because what was it? Now, if you follow me on Twitter and stuff like that, I like to tweet out about the Rangers team whenever I see it and I like to give my thoughts and opinions on it, but I didn't even bother doing that when I saw the same predictable 4-3-3 nonsense, which we haven't scored a goal in for 4 games, playing the 4-3-3 slow ball retention side to side. Nonsense. I just couldn't be arsed because I went, really? We changed it versus Braga, we changed the formation, we inspired a fantastic comeback, yet we're going to go back to the same formation and same style of play that Disney work. Now, I know not everyone says, you can't just blame the formation, it's the players, and agreed, the players certainly played their part, and we're going to speak about Katic, trust me, there's a lot to speak about, but I'm just looking at this Rangers team, surely it's tactical that we just pass it nice and nice and nice and nice on the middle of the park and gone backwards. That can't just be on the players, because if it was just on the players, Gerrard would have fixed it ages ago. But the fact that it continues to happen clearly is a tactic from Gerrard, and I just didn't get it. Now, in saying that, despite my clear frustrations with how Rangers are going into these games of football setting up in the same way that clearly Disney work, despite not learning from what they're doing in games when they do change the formation, and it does work when we come back and win. Despite all that, you cannot blame the manager, you can't blame the coaching staff, you can't blame the passive play style, and you cannot blame the formation on the 2 goals we conceded. What you can blame is absolutely horrific individual errors from Nikola Katic. That's right there, I'm going to be honest, and I hate to say this because you all know how much I love the laddie, but that right there, from what I witnessed in 94 minutes versus St Johnstone, is the worst centre-back display I have ever seen from a Rangers centre-half. And I've seen Rob Kiernan, and I've seen Senderos get sent off in 30 minutes and never play again. Honestly, Katic tops both. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny, and I'm not trying to joke, or I'm not trying to be over-dramatic by damning Katic's performance, but it just needs to be said. Look at the goals we conceded. Start with the first one, right? Despite how slow and bad we started this game of football, it's a nothing ball. Punted up. We spoke about it in yesterday's prediction video. It was obvious how St Johnstone were going to play versus Rangers, but somebody never told Katic, or Katic maybe just forgot, because he completely buys into a long ball and then just for whatever reason decides to rattle a ball high up in the air towards his own goal. Now, I'm going to take nothing away from the touch by Hendry and the finish, which is excellent, but how on earth is your starting centre-half for a team like Rangers deciding, rather than kicking the ball out or even trying to pass it back to McGregor, that a punt straight up in the air towards your own box is a good idea? Like, what can you do when folk are doing that? Like, what do you expect a team to be able to accomplish when individual errors like that are happening? And that's what's so frustrating with being a Rangers fan right now, right? There's so much stuff gone wrong on the park in the league for Scottish football. You didn't ken where to look, because you look here, formation's still working, but then you look over here, individual clear mistakes, and you look over here, people completely out of form and just walking about the park like they own it. But enough talking around the game, let's actually just dive in, right? Because we've spoke about the first goal in the game and how did Rangers respond? Well, they actually tried to attempt to pass the ball forward a couple of times, which is a major plus in this formation, but a couple of half chances here or there. Let's just skip to half time. Let's not waste our time going through that first 45 minutes again, because at half time something happened that we have been screaming for and every single fan wants to see, and that's 2 up top and Cumberi on the park. He should have started this game, let's be brutally honest with that. Morelos is completely out of form. Even if you didn't want to play 2 up top right to start a game, at least it needs to be Cumberi. Surely. But whether you agree with Cumberi starting the match or no, you cannot take away this guy's impact in the last 3 substitute appearances, saving Rangers in changing games. He done it versus Livingston, he done it versus Braga, and he came on and not only impacted the game positively, he went ahead and scored an absolute screamer, a volley from outside the box. No one else on the park would even attempt that for Rangers, especially the way people are actually playing right now. But he rattles it, he's got the confidence, he's got the belief, and he's got the hunger to play for the Rangers badge, and you can clearly see it for every second he was on the park. So he scores an absolute beauty, and we're back in it now, 1-1, and we're playing the formation, it's working, and we all know Rangers are now going to start playing better. And that's exactly what happened. Rangers look like a complete and utter different animal with two forwards on the park, even with Morelos pretty much being St Johnstone's best defender in the game. Just having another body there was creating space for others, and we were starting to cause a threat. And the majority of the threats, to be honest with you, all came from the boot of Kamberi. There was one down the left hand side where he beats a man, he whips a beautiful cross into the box, no one gambles. In fact, you can go all the way back to Kamberi's first touch in this game of football, which was a nice little pass into Arfield, a nice little give and go, perfectly weighted, and allowed Scotty Arfield to have a free shot on target, which he absolutely ballooned, unfortunately, ere the bar. But everything positive for Rangers came for Kamberi again, and this is a guy that isn't getting a start. Now we're going to skip a couple of chances like the long shots and Alfredo Morelos' turning efforts. We're just going to move away from them and jump right to the second goal in this game for Rangers, and it was a fantastically well worked goal. And believe it or not, Katic actually done something positive in the game of football by hitting a nice pass into Kamberi, who just absolutely leaves his marker dead and buried with a nice little turn. He's then positive. He doesn't look to turn back or wait for someone to go in the overlap like what Kent's been doing now for about 3 or 4 games. He just runs straight into the box, lifts his head up, finds his man, beautiful pass in, and Aribo, who was playing left back once again in this game after the change in the second half, finishes it beautifully. And when the ball hit the back in it, you're absolutely bouncing. You think, right, we got away with one again, right? We started with our hands tied behind our back in a formation that doesn't work. We were starting people out of position and out of form, but we've managed to drag ourselves not only back into the game, but put ourselves ahead. And Gerrard's substitute has worked to perfection, taking Halliday off, putting Aribo there. All signs are good. And for the next couple of minutes, it certainly was, because you had Kamberi once again being the influence. I'm not just trying to bum him up or anything like that. Every chance came from Kamberi in that second half. He hits a beautiful pass into Alfredo Morelos. He's in on the goalkeeper. It is towards the side, right? It's not an absolute sitter, but for a man of his quality, you're at least expecting him to hit the target from that range, but he balloons it out of the bar. You saw Gerrard's reaction, you saw Gary McAllister's reaction, and I think as fans, we all knew that moment right there is where the game should have been killed off. But obviously that never happened, and once again Rangers weren't clinical enough going forward. They pass up the opportunity to kill the game off, and you know exactly what happens next, especially when Katic was still on the park. And it wasn't as if he was starting to play better, he was starting to win headers, he was still getting beat to every single header, he was still passing the ball out of play. Yes, he was involved in the second goal, but I can honestly say, with my hand on my heart, that was about the only positive thing he'd done in the game of football. But you left the two of them on the park, you left Katic especially on the park at this moment in time. You change back to the 4-3-3, which invites more pressure onto Rangers. Simple long ball up, and I didn't care how I'm going to do this without swearing, honestly. Connor Goldson and Katic versus one St Johnstone player. They're closing in on the ball. Goldson actually screams for he's got it, but Katic decides, nah son, I've got it again, I'm playing well. He then once again does the same move what he did for the first goal for St Johnstone, just boots it high up in the air towards his own box. For whatever reason, then Connor Goldson is forced to win the header to clear it out for a corner to stop another carbon copy of the first goal. But it just gets worse from a Rangers fan and a Katic perspective, because from the corner that he inexplicably brought on to Rangers, he then takes a touch pass inside the box instead of clearing it away that passes directly to Stevie May to finish. Honestly, I'm speechless. But as we already mentioned, we had changed from the 4-4-2 back to our usual standard formation. It just played right into the hands of St Johnstone. They knew exactly what we were trying to do. They knew exactly how we were trying to build up, and we created absolutely nothing in the last 9 or 10 minutes of this game. So it finishes 2-2, lads, and maybe it's fitting that it finishes right here with this game, because in this 94 minutes versus St Johnstone, it had everything that's went wrong with our season. You think about it, no learning through past mistakes, starting the same tactics that didn't work, our big players go missing in big moments, and the leaders we have in our team can't lead to hold on to games. We keep hearing about the experience of Davis and blah 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 and blah and blah and blah, but where is it on the park? Because I'm seeing 7 points dropped for winning positions. I'm seeing 1 point in our last 3 away games versus teams in the bottom half of the table. That game right there is a perfect summary of Rangers' entire season and where it has went wrong. Anything you need, you look in that game, you've got it. And with that being said, I am officially done and dusted with today's video. Now it's time to hand the reins over to you guys, because I want to know your thoughts and opinions on that, not only performance but result from Rangers. And while you guys are hopefully getting involved in the comment section below, I will jump over to Twitter and hear from the people. Now there's no man of the match poll obviously, but if there was, there'd be Kamberi and Aribo. That's it from a Rangers perspective. But let's see what they've had to say then, shall we? Deacon Neil writes in, 2 folk cost us a day. Katic with the blunders and Gerrard for changing back to the 4-3-3 when obviously wasn't working. Ewan McKenzie writes in, why we went back to the 4-3-3 I'll never know. Kamberi, man of the match. Apart from him and Aribo, we were absolutely woeful. Rossinator writes in, pish, looks like we had totally forgot about how to play football. No link-up play, only passing we do is backwards or out the park. Kamberi looks sharp and we must start him and need to play 2 up front, as what we are doing now with long high balls from Golden to Alfie clearly ain't working. Neil writes in, I thought we sold Philip Senderos. Edmondson needs to start from now on for me. Katic has absolutely shown himself up. Kamberi is a starter for me from now on. Abysmal game over. Tom Arthur writes in, Turgid, pish, where's the ability to dig out gone? Good question, mate. Ryan Smith writes in, so glad Kamberi will be starting against Braga. Best player on the park today. Morelos keeps slowing the attack down whenever we pass to him. Yeah, it's just unfortunately not happening for Alfredo right now. Craig Gray writes in, our centre-backs sell goals and don't score any. We continue to let teams into games at 2-1 when we are in control. Chrissy RFC writes in, centre-backs are ranked rotten and cost us in this game. Dino writes in, the same as everyone, mate. Change the formation to 2 up top in the league and don't ever change it again. Drop Katic for Wednesday. Chrissy Hall writes in, until Kamberi came on the park we were pish, got back into the game, then effed it again. Defending was shocking all over the park. And the last 2 or 3 that were actually there, the first one comes in from Blue Rangers and he writes in, with the exception of Kamberi, we were horrendous from start to finish, with the possible exception of a 5-minute spell either side of half-time. Not much can be analysed except that I'm starting to worry about the team and the coaching staff. And the last one we'll read out in tonight's video, we'll scroll all the way down there and we'll stop it here, and it comes from Rusty and he writes in, pish, that is all. That is all. The man for me has absolutely nailed it. But that's me all done and dusted. You've heard from the people. You've heard from myself. If you haven't done so already, you know what to do by now. And as always, I've been CJNova92. Thank you so much for watching. And bye-bye.